Welcome to the Meme Coin Mix. My name is James, and today is Monday. We've got a brand new week here in the meme coin space. Good time to take a look at a big picture view of where we're currently at, especially as we reflect back on the 5 days prior. So this morning, as of today, we're 55.4 billion in terms of total market cap in the meme coin space. That's actually looking really good. That's a really nice rebound from where we were 5 days ago. If you'll recall, Wednesday, May 1st, we had the FOMC meeting. Just before that meeting, the overall market cap in the meme coin space was sitting at roughly about 42 billion, 43 billion. So we've had well over a 20% bounce post FOMC. That looks really, really strong for the meme coin market. Done really, really well over the last 5 days. So if you're one of those traders that went in when there were blood in the streets early Wednesday or Tuesday prior, you're looking really, really good right now. There are some coins in particular that have done really, really well. So let's take a look at some of those and let's dive into the charts. Okay, so the first chart we're going to take a look at today is, of course, WITH. WITH has really been the kind of like the bellwether meme coin of this cycle. It's a really great chart to look at, and we can see over the last 3 weeks, WITH has kind of been trading within a certain range here. And then we only recently in the last few days have broken structure. So let's take a look at it. And we can see that for the last 3 weeks, WITH has kind of traded between this low, let's say about 225, 230 range, all the way up to about $3.15. And there have been some really good trading opportunities here. If you bought lows and sold peaks, you definitely could have done quite well. But just in the last few days, we can see that in the beginning of this month, we really started to climb out of this range, and it broke structure right here, just basically post FOMC. And we're now kind of establishing a new price range here where the previous resistance of $3.15 has now become, I think, support. And we kind of touched it here, but then we kind of rose above it. And 365 is kind of like the new resistance. And obviously the target we're really kind of looking at next is $4. There's obviously nothing here to get in its way if we can clear this 365 new resistance here, but we may trade sideways in this range for a little while. So it'll be interesting to see if we're able to establish, WITH is able to establish trading permanently above $3.15. So we'll see what happens. We dipped here and then we came back up. We tested the ceiling up here. And now it looks like this is kind of like the midline, roughly about 340. It's kind of like the new sort of mid-range of this new trading range. So we'll see what happens over the next few days, but very interested to see if we can break through 365, or do we actually break through $3.15 and go back into this trading zone. So WITH in a very interesting spot right now. It's rebounded obviously really, really nicely over the last few days and really the early part of May. And now we'll just see if, obviously Coinbase, they've now launched futures trading for WITH. Everybody's kind of expecting that spot's going to be next. That would seem to be the catalyst that would take this thing all the way up to $4 and beyond once they're able to announce that. That's going to come at some point in the future. We don't know when. So this is the WITH chart. Looks good. WITH, again, rebounded really, really nicely. Let's see if we can establish this new trading range above 315 with a 365 ceiling and see if we can get some nice trading opportunities in here bouncing around in this range for the next little while. Okay, so the next chart I want to take a look at to start the week off is PopCat. Now, cats have been doing really, really well. Maybe the flippening is happening and cats are going to flip dogs. It certainly feels like cats have more momentum right now. And PopCat is a really good example of this. If you were one of those traders that bought PopCat when it was blood in the streets pre-FOMC, you've had a really, really nice run. And so you can see, take a look at the PopCat chart here. This is from roughly around mid-April, the very beginning of this chart. And then PopCat had a really nice run, as you can see, and kind of started trading inside of a range for a few weeks pre-FOMC. And let's take a look at what that looks like. And you can see, so for, maybe a couple weeks here, PopCat kind of traded in a range, and you could have traded some lows in roughly the low to mid 30s, and then could have sold at the sort of high 40s, 48, 50 cents, somewhere in that range. And then just pre-FOMC, you can see the PopCat kind of broke structure here. And the previous resistance in the high 40s, about 48 cents, became now support. And we've kind of cleared that structure. And now we're establishing a new trading range where maybe 48 cents is now the new support level. And the high 60s, almost 70 cents now, is the new resistance. And so it'll be interesting to see whether or not, much like WIF, whether we've established this new trading range and we can keep this resistance and support levels, or do we break structure and go back lower and go back into the previous range from the previous weeks? Or are we permanently establishing this new range with obviously the upward price target of $1 here for PopCat? And so we'll see what happens. Can PopCat really maintain this momentum, establish a new range? And do we eventually break through the 70-cent resistance and start to really work our way up to the $1, 1 billion market cap target here for PopCat? Seems like an inevitability, but right now, we'll see if we can establish this new trading range here. And there should be some really good opportunities to both buy and sell PopCat along the way. So we'll check out this chart back at the end of the week and see how it looks and whether or not we were able to maintain this new trading range structure. All right, let's finish up this trifecta of charts, and let's keep with the cat theme and take a look at SharkCat. SharkCat, interesting token, has had a kind of a sideways run. It was actually quite low. And again, another one of those like PopCat. If you bought when everything was down, you've done really, really well recently. And so let's take a look at what SharkCat's done over the last few weeks. And again, this is going back to roughly mid-April, somewhere around there. And you can see SharkCat was kind of like in the doldrums. It was roughly around 4 cents, thereabouts, even lower, a little below 4 cents. And so it had this little trading range, as you can see, with resistance somewhere in the 7.5 cent range, topping up almost at about 8.5 cents, around there. And then it dipped back down. And again, we were just in this range, which there were opportunities to buy and sell, certainly. But then again, post FOMC, SharkCat really started to go on a run and completely broke structure and has kind of left this trading range behind. And now we're establishing a brand new trading range with a support level roughly in the 11 cent range and new resistance now almost at 20 cents, in the high 19s, with a midline trading of somewhere in the 15 cent range right around in here. So again, another chart we're going to take a very, very kind of close look at. We'll revisit at the end of the week to see if we can maintain this structure of support level 11 cents, resistance almost 20 cents, and see if we can stay in this range, or do we break back below and head back into a below 10 cent range into the somewhere between 4 to 8 cents. It looks like, I think we're permanently now in this new trading range with really an upward price target somewhere around 25 cents. That would kind of like be like the next real target to shoot for, above 20, getting above 20 cents for SharkCat. Let's see where it goes. But right now, SharkCat looking really, really good, especially if you bought when it was below 5 cents. That's looking really, really good. You've done a several X investment already. So SharkCat looking much better. Back from the dead, another cat bouncing hard. So that was a quick look at 3 charts as we start the week, 2 cats and a dog. And as you can see, we are establishing some new trading ranges post FOMC bounce. I will revisit at the end of the week to see if we were able to maintain those ranges. Did we break lower? Do we break higher? So of course, I'll get back to you on that one. In the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow with another video on some news in the meme coin space. In the meantime, please subscribe on YouTube at Meme Coin Mix, because that's where the videos will go first. And of course, follow us on Twitter at Meme Coin Mix, and drop in the comments below. Are there any particular charts, any coins that you're looking at that you want me to cover and you want me to look at? And I will cover them in videos ahead. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.